Yo, what's going on, guys? And some weird news out of Golden State. Let's talk about Bob Myers has been offered a contract twice and hasn't accepted it, and they're going to do everything they can to solve the payroll issue. I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this information. I think it's a bit interesting because it's, how do you put it? It's weird because you would think Bob Myers would get himself a contract, a big old contract. Let's just read you guys the information that's been released to us and that you guys are probably interested in hearing. So let's get right into the information. Hit that like and subscribe button. We post 150 videos a day and regarding every facet of the NBA. So if you guys are interested in staying tuned in with everything to do with the NBA, hit that like and subscribe button to help support the channel. So let's get right into it. The Warriors have made, this is coming from Tim Kawakami of The Athletic, the Warriors have made 2 contract offers. Bob Myers is without a contract for next season with the Golden State Warriors. Myers has been with the Golden State Warriors since 2011 when he left behind his work as a player agent. Quote, "I'm not going to negotiate in the press, in the media, but I will say this. We love Bob. He's family. He's been here, 10 years? Really got his big break here and made the most of it. Deserves everything he gets. He has been compensated very well to this point, in the top 3 of general managers in this league. All I will say is that it is not accurate that he hasn't been offered anything. There have been 2 offers at this point. I'm trying. Have you ever known me not to be aggressive? So this is crazy to sit here and say, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to violate. I hope Bob doesn't get upset or his agent. I just want to clarify that he hasn't been offered anything. That's just not true. He's got to make a decision what he wants to do with his life. What's the appropriate compensation he feels is fair, we feel is fair, and it's really just a negotiation," end quote, said Joe Lacob to Tim Kawakami of The Athletic. Quote, "To be honest with you, I fully expect Bob will be back. He's a great negotiator. What do you want him to do? He's supposed to do this. We love Bob, and we want him back," added Joe Lacob. Lacob went on to talk about everything Myers has done leading the Warriors front office. Quote, "He's very important. He's done a phenomenal job. He's been Executive of the Year twice, and deservedly so. You look back over his 10-year career, we don't tend to talk about Bob, but Bob does an incredible job. The Andre Iguodala signing in July 2013. I look back and say, actually, you guys will never understand how difficult that actually was. He had to clear a lot of space to do that. He did a phenomenal job. Kevin Durant was really his idea and execution and brought us 2 championships. So look, Bob's great. Bob's done a great job. But we also have a tremendous organization behind him, beneath him. Great depth. I'd like to think more depth than almost any organization. Look, I don't want him to go. I don't think he'll go anywhere. I expect him to be here. It would hurt to lose him, certainly. But we have to just go forward. There are circumstances that evolve sometimes. I guess it's conceivable. There's some chance for that for some reason he or Steve won't be here. I don't think it's likely, but it is possible. If so, we'd have to figure out how to go forward," said Lacob. And those are all just information just to keep there. And I think it's all just, one second. And I all just think it's just stuff that people are gonna pick into, especially as the payroll issues weigh on. And I think it's just interesting as hell. Let's talk about these payrolls. So Joe Lacob in the same interview said the Warriors will try like heck to solve the payroll issues, but not at the expense of being able to win. After the Golden State Warriors signed Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins to extensions before the start of the season, they project to have somewhere around $400 million in payroll plus luxury tax penalties next season. The Warriors would prefer to get that number under $420 million in order to avoid losing money. Quote, "It's not possible without losing quite a bit of money at the bottom line. Let's put it that way. I did say that it was impossible, and it's from a business perspective an almost insane thing to even consider. But I think we're going to have to wait and see, because the truth is, winning matters, and I want to win another championship. We want to win another championship this year. I'll probably say that at the end of this year too. Right now, we're in the present, and we're trying to win. And I think we got a good shot to do that. I think we're coming together, and the trade deadline is coming up, and we'll see if there's a way we can improve our team. And if we can obviously improve our financial situation going forward, we would love to do that. But not the sacrifice of being able to win. We got to evaluate this in real time, what with a look toward the future as well. I can't really answer the question right now other than to say, when have you ever known me not to be aggressive? We are aggressive. We'll do whatever we can do if it makes sense and we're in a winning real championship mode, said Joe Lacob to Tim Kawakami of The Athletic. The Warriors claim to have lost money for the first time last season despite netting about $40 million from their playoff ticket sales. Quote, I don't know the exact answer, but it's probably close. It depends how far we go in the playoffs. If we go to the finals, we should be okay. If we don't, we'll probably lose money. All I can tell you is we're just trying to keep up. We have a unique situation in that we have this aging but still great set of players. We have championship aspirations, and it costs a lot of money to do that. And we're going to try like heck to rectify our finances going forward, but not at the expense of being able to win, said Joe Lacob when asked if they will lose money this season. Klay Thompson or Draymond Green could be a player to exit the team early due to financial concerns, despite everything they've done for the franchise both on and off the floor. Quote, whether we'd like to hear this or not, players do get older. Their skills erode. The question is trying to time all that. We would like them to retire, all three of them, as Warriors. I really would like that. We really would like that. And I think they would like that. And we want to try to do that if that makes sense. But unfortunately, if you look through the history of professional sports, let's look at the NBA in particular. It usually doesn't end that way. Players want to hang on sometimes a little longer than they can or should. Organizations sometimes want to hang on to a dream longer. So you're trying to put all that into perspective and trying to balance it all. Bill Walsh, I think I've quoted him before, once said, better to trade a player a year too early than a year too late. I'm not saying we're thinking like that necessarily, but it's really an important statement. You don't want to go through a decade of being bad either for our fans, right? It's a very different calculus. I want to keep those guys here. I want them to be here. As long as they're playing at a very high level, rest assured, they will be. I would love, obviously, for some of them to sacrifice in salary a little bit, or what they perceive as a sacrifice, to stay and help our organization maintain a great roster. You always hope for that. It doesn't usually happen. And I can blame them because they have limited lifespans. I can't blame them because they have limited lifespans as players and want to make as much money as they can, end quote, said Lacob. Curry signed through 2025-26, and Green and Thompson can become free agents earlier than that. And we're going to see what ends up happening there. So let me hear your thoughts down below.